Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? All right. Come on in. Welcome. How is everybody doing tonight? What is it? Wednesday. Wow. Time is just flying. So glad that you are here. Thank you for tuning in to KnowledgeWell Media. And we're going to have a great night tonight. I'm here to take your questions. I'm here to discuss the topics that you find important. Come on in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Let me know how the sound quality last live, when I listened back to it, we had a lot of crackling, and I think my voice volume was way too high. So if you ever notice that, just let me know. I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. All right, looking at the comment section, looks like we're going to have some great interaction tonight. We have Heather Bell in the house. All right, thank you. Missed you last time. I don't think you made it to our live last time, but I'm so glad to see you back, Heather. Thank you.
KnowledgeWell Media. Okay, all right. So come on in, hit that thumbs up button. BB Productions is in the house, and greetings to the family. All right. And who else is here? Let's see, Terry Camp. Wow, been a long time. Greetings to you as well. Thank you for being here. So glad that you are here. BB Production said sleepy. And Know Thyself 722 is in the building. Love to see you here. Thank you. Greetings to everyone. And all right. We are ready. Let's just put up a couple announcements real quick, and then we'll get going. Please take some time to think about those topics that, Kay Matthews is in the house. Thank you for being here tonight. So glad that you are here. Kick your feet up on the sofa and make yourself at home. We're going to have a great time tonight. All Gods is here. There. Good evening to all. We got good participation tonight already. I'm loving it. Come on in, everybody. All right. BB Productions, salutations. Hey, Victoria is in the building, everybody. All right. We're doing good already. We're on fire here tonight. You're making me proud right now. Making me proud. I'll cry. I got my napkins and stuff, But anyways, all right. Thank you all for being here. It is an honor. It is a pleasure. I can't wait to get to work for you tonight. And we have our first 777. All right, BB Productions. Thank you for that. All right. You know how to light up that comment board. We love those 777s here. All right. But let me just get this out of the way, and then we'll get to moving. Don't forget, donations can be made to the Cash App over at $AmericanConsulate. All right. If you feel so inclined, value is the amount some money that you're willing to pay for something, if you find value in it. Okay. So, please do that. Don't forget to hit the like button again. Thank you for the reminder. And that's donations. Our email is KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. You need a personal consultation to discuss any of the topics that we discussed tonight, or perhaps something that you've watched and you want to ask questions about. That's how you do it. All right. So hit us up. I would like to have more personal and individual interaction with the KnowledgeWellians and the people that come through here. So don't be bashful. If you got a little extra time, hit us up. Come in, let's have a one-on-one chat about your personal situations, okay? And get some further clarity. Also, we have our Square site where you can pick up our products here, our brand name products that are produced, created, designed by none other than BB Productions. If you take some time in your week or whatever, and you got, the holidays are coming up, whether it's Thanksgiving decorations, Christmas or New Year's or any birthday parties, whatever, go on over to the BB Productions YouTube channel and just peruse through there and see some of the amazing artwork and craft work that they do there. And you won't be disappointed. Tonight, we're drinking a little bit of tea. Figured I'd lay off the coffee and sodas and stuff like that. I don't know. I've been getting a little lax lately. I got to get back on my grind. All right. Taking care of self. All right. Last but not least, well, not last, patreon.com is our exclusive membership, our exclusive club where you get the products, the videos, the content that I do not put on the public. So if you like the offerings that you get here on the public, can you imagine what we drop over in the private? Okay, just enough said. So if you want to take part in that, join us over at the Patreon and right there on the screen. Okay, I think $15 a month works out to just under $3 per week for the great content that you get and those exclusivities. All right, and none of the information that you hear here tonight or at any point in time on this platform is ever intended or should it be construed as legal advice. If you need legal advice, seek yourself a competent attorney, and please be advised. Okay. All right. Disclaimers out of the way. Got the business out of the way. Going back to the comment section. Make sure we didn't miss anybody. All right. Yep. Know thyself. It says, hey, BB. All right. You love Victoria. Yeah. I never drank coffee. And suddenly I'm drinking the heavy stuff where people are like, dude, how many shots of espresso? Like, you know, and yeah, because it gives you the jitters and all that. So I never really was into it. But now, I guess in my 40s, mid 40s, I guess that's what what it is. But I do need to taper off on that. And so maybe I'll convert over to some tea or something like that. So I'm gonna try some things out. Victoria says, know thyself. Absolutely. Know thyself. Okay. All right. All right. So I would really like to discuss what is important to you. You all have been hearing me run my mouth for quite a while now, and I'm sure you've watched some videos. Hopefully you've written down some of the questions, even if they're in a format of a challenge, right? Iron sharpeneth iron. All right. I want to get better at what I do. And the way that happens is when, questions are posed or a challenge is issued, can you make something more clear? So we can make tonight that. I do have something I was going to cover. I wanted to go over a video that some of you may have seen. Yusuf L's newest video, I think it was, the meaning of status correction. I was going to piggyback on that and bring further clarity in that. But I would much rather hear what you have to say or a question that you all have. So if you have that, go ahead and shoot. Otherwise, I'll just, informal tonight. We'll just hop all over the place. This is Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Heather Bell says, my daughter and I are doing raw fruits, vegetables, and water for 30 days. Nice. So you're doing a cleanse. You're cleansing. You're resetting the system, right? I think that's what you're on. Yeah, definitely. I mean, some people say, well, this stuff that they claim is organic ain't really organic anyways, the pesticides, the soil, and all that kind of stuff, but I just say, like, it's better than doing nothing, right? And then I've really been kind of focusing on the water, right? Because we know it's heavily fluorinated. They strip a lot of the things out of it. And what I've been learning is that it doesn't even properly provide you with electrolytes the way that you need, right? Remember, I really want to, I said that I was going to follow up on that electrolysis experiment I did. Remember that way back? Some of you that have been around for a while. Our systems are merely electrolysis systems. We're gonna follow up on that. Maybe we'll follow up on that on like Sunday or something like that. But yeah, I'll leave that alone. We'll follow up on that. Okay. But congratulations, Heather. I hope you much success in your endeavor. And I know you'll be successful at that. So push at it. Bring some testimonies back. A lot of people are struggling with health right now, as far as healthy eating, diets, and all that kind of stuff. This whole COVID-19 thing has really got us all sitting around unhealthy, more unhealthy than we've probably ever been before in the history of the United States. And so it's good. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna shut up about this. You wanna know a great industry to be in line with this whole COVID-19 and everything like that. The psychology area. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Just a tip. But anyways, okay, let's get going. I think All Gods has something for us here. Establishing the private commercial entity. Trust, okay, or suretyship. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the reminder to cut the music. Thank you very much. All right, so fine. Let's pick it. Let's hit the ground running. I appreciate that. So All Gods is asking about establishing the private commercial entity and trust, right? You're talking about a trust. Okay. Let's see. That's a pretty general, but let's see. Trust. Okay. Yeah. Establishing a trust. This trust is composed of, let's give a demonstration. So like if I have an item, right? I have a product, I have an item. Every item, especially in the legal order, consists of two titles. Okay. You have controlling title and you have what's known as beneficial title. Okay. to property. This cup right here, if I claim that this cup is mine, okay, if I say that this is mine, okay, I am entitled, to this cup, right? I am entitled. Not only I can control it, I can go sell it if I want to, right? Hell, I can paint it if I want to. I can do anything I want to. I have control over this. That would be what's known as the legal title. Okay, the legal title. That's what I meant. Every item has two titles: the legal title and equitable title. Excuse me. I don't know why I said it's the same thing: beneficial title, equitable title. But to state it correctly, everything that you have, everything that anybody has two titles to it. Now, if I, let's say, am making a plan for the future, I know perhaps I'll age out, I'll transition. I want to leave something behind, heirloom, or legacy or gold coins. I want to leave something behind for my lineage. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two titles. Now I'm holding on to both titles, the legal title and the equitable title. Equitable title is my right to basically benefit from the cup itself, not only to control it, but I can benefit from it myself. Okay. And so I'm going to take both of those titles and I'm going to do what's called bifurcate them or split them, divide them into what they call tranches, but don't worry about that. I'm going to divide the titles and I'm going to take the legal control title and give that to somebody that I quote unquote trust. Trustee. All right. And so the trustee has the legal title, controlling title. They can make the legal decisions for the cup. They can, all the legal, like a manager. Okay. And then I'm going to take the equitable title and I'm going to hand that off to whoever my beneficiaries are, whoever I want to eventually have this cup. Okay. When I pass on, okay, they get beneficial, equitable use of it. Okay. And ownership. Now, so that's how the trust is created. Okay. The two titles go bing. They're bifurcated. Okay. And sent opposite directions. Controlling is the legal title once again, and equitable title is the benefit of the. Okay. Now, here's the kicker that I don't hear many people say or in line with the equitable beneficial title. And that is that the benefactor doesn't have the right necessarily to the cup. Let me say that again. The beneficiary does not have the right to the cup. The cup is technically under the control, management, and administration of the trustee. He or she has the cup, but he or she is also tasked with a fiduciary duty to grow the cup, grow the value of the cup. Okay, to keep it beautiful, so that as the weeks, the months, the years, the decades go by, this cup retains its value at the very least and grows in value ideally. That's really how it's supposed to work. The trustee is not supposed to just sit on it and do nothing with it, because 5-10 years from now, that cup, when we liquidate and sell it, we should be by the time the beneficiary gets this cup, it should be worth double of what it was when the one that set the trust up and trusted it to the trustee. Does that make sense? Trustees are you're not supposed to be sitting idle, is what I'm saying. Now, let me give you, I like to use, to go further into trust. Hey, Fred Mitchell is in the house. Thank you for being here. So glad to see you. Thank you. Come on in, put your feet up, relax, grab something to sip on. We're gonna learn a lot tonight. We got some great participation. I appreciate all the comments already. That is exciting. Thank you all. I appreciate you. Getting back. Oh, so think about this. Okay. So the universe has really been having me go over movies lately. All right. So check it out. when you want to really unpeel the onion, as it were, when it comes to trust, okay, think about Batman. Think about what you know about the story of Batman. Think about the fact that his parents, the Waynes, were murdered, were gunned down in an alley, okay, as the story goes. All right. And Master Wayne was but maybe 6 or 8 years old. Okay. Now, Wayne Manor, Wayne Enterprises is a multi-billion, perhaps even a trillion. What, I don't know what it was, but it's he was wealthy, whatever. And so Master Wayne was out, of course, to inherit all Wayne Enterprises, Wayne Manor, etc., everything, right? But yet he's only 6 or 8 years old. So do you give a 6 or 8 year old a $1 billion industry? No, you don't, right? They'd buy up every candy store, every toy store. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't do that, is the point. And so those assets of Wayne Enterprises must go into a trust to be held for Master Wayne for such a time as when Master Wayne becomes what? Legally competent, obtaining the age of the majority. Meaning Master Wayne may now administer and manage his own affairs and his own estate. This is directly opposed to the predicament of citizens today, because we are still in what is called the public trust. So by default, that means that we, or the citizens, are deemed in law, which type of law? Positive law, man-made law. We are deemed by law to be legally incompetent for the most part, unless you can prove otherwise. If you can defeat the presumption, okay? And that's what we're working on. That's what we're doing, okay? But the point is, Master Wayne, all of those assets, all the billions, all the products, everything, right, is all held in trust. Now, can you tell me who the trustee is in the story of, I was going to say Bruce Lee, Batman? Who would be the trustee? Let's see if you get it. Let's see the comment section. Who is the trustee? Let's see who gets it. Who is the trustee in Batman? The story of Batman. Anybody? Who has controlling title of all of Wayne Manor and all of the toys, the Rolls Royce, the mansion? All right. Heather says, Heather and Kay Matthews came through at the same time. Correct. Alfred. Victoria. Okay, very good. All right. Everybody got it. Alfred has controlling title. You see how we have been watching these movies? We grew up watching all of these movies, and it was just over our heads. Ain't that amazing? Let me ask you a question. What might you be today if while you were watching these shows that we're now divulging and uncovering, the Wizard of Oz, what if you actually knew what they meant and you started off at 16 years old getting your first job and you play this game the way that the game is supposed to be played? What might your life look like today? You ever think about that? I digress. So let it not be said about you in 2023 that you didn't do better for yours. Let it not be said. Because your generation should be set. This next generation, hopefully you get a piece of it too. You will. Most of us are 40, 50, we'll have a piece. We're working on it. But do you hear what do you picking up what I'm putting down? There is absolutely no reason that your family name should not go up 100 pegs in the next 5-10 years. Now you're talking legacy. Now you see how the Rockefellers and all that, they got them pictures, fancy paintings of themselves. That's how y'all are going to be. Because they're going to look back at you and say, they were the first generation. They were the one that got the trust set up, the Wayne Manor set up for us. And now, everybody before my mom and dad was poor. Our family was poor. It was hand to mouth. Everybody was alcoholic, drug addict, because they were just sick with life and nothing was really working. But that's not what they're going to say about you. Your next generation going to be boss. Cheers. Cheers. So, with that being said, Batman. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into that. Let's go a little bit deeper. Now, there's another side to this story that is not talked about. Because we have basically and essentially worshipped a grown ass man that runs around in rubber tights and is still having a hot boy summer, still think he's in 6th grade wearing a full onesie and a mask, a persona. But we look at that as our superhero. It's the joke is on us. Superman, literally wearing his underwear on the outside of his pants. You see how they got us foolish? We're entertained. We're being entertained. So you can catch the meaning that the elite see in the movie, or you can be entertained and be like, wow, I want to fly too. I'm going to dress up just like that. Who dresses up like that? What would happen if you went to work like that tomorrow? What might people say? You think they're going to look at you like a superhero and be like, he is so cool, or she is so cool? Do you really think that? No, they're not, are they? They're going to think you went cuckoo. Wacko. Put that dude in that one place where the thing, the straight jacket type stuff. That's how they're going to act. They're going to perceive you that way. So let me ask you a question. Have you gotten the story of the trust scenario out of Superman and out of Batman? Or were you entertained by the black leather suit, rubber suit, pointy ears, and hiding his face, wearing a mask and a persona because he don't want to be revealed? I don't want anybody to see who I am underneath. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's what happens when you're entertained. You miss the whole point that is really being pushed. And guess who gets the message, the esoteric information out of the movies? Yeah, the elite. They're communicating with each other behind the scenes. What is the whole premise, the whole summary of The Wizard of Oz? That there is a man harnessing all the power, the whole show. He harnessed all the power, had the whole freaking land of Oz, believing that the great and powerful Oz is, you better obey everything I say, or the great and powerful Oz will, what are you going to do? What did the Oz do? Nothing. The mere little Toto pulled the curtain back and unveiled the fraudulent, but subtle and cunning, right? Very subtle and cunning. You got to give him that. He fooled the whole world of Oz. Everybody. I didn't even hear the witch expose the Wizard of Oz. Did he? Did she? Did she? The witch. Yeah. And they supposed to be magicians and all that, magical. How come the witch didn't know that the Wizard of Oz was phony? I'm just saying. Are you picking up what I'm putting down, though? I mean, I'm trying to make it simple and make it fun. But really, we've been missing out all the time. We've just been enthralled by the rubber suit, the red leotard, or the blue leotard with the red panties on the outside, basically wearing panties. And that's what we grew up like, yeah, I want to be that. But this is trust. Now, so basically, Master Wayne was basically a big kid. That's what they were trying to show you. That's why Alfred continued to be the trustee, even as a grown-ass man. You see? He still needed somebody to change his diapers. Look, Alfred, like, Master Wayne, I don't think you should do that. Look, Master Wayne couldn't even take over Wayne Manor because the whole board of Wayne Enterprises was like, nah, he's kind of spendthrift, a spendthrift, somebody that if he was to get his full estate or his inheritance, he would blow it on chicks, females, partying, drinking, doing drugs. Remember? I don't know if y'all watched all of them, but you remember when he walked up in the party and they all looking at him, he came out with girls. Remember, he came out of the helicopter with girls all over him and stuff. He walked into the party and everybody like, because they know Master Wayne is a spendthrift. Alfred running the show. That's how it is. He's the one behind the controls, ain't he? When Master Wayne is in the Batmobile, or when Batman is in the Batmobile or in the jet and all that kind of, who telling Master Wayne what really is going on? You see what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, so you get the point. That's trust relationship. The trustee has control, and the beneficiary, they benefit from the interests and proceeds of the cup. See, it's not theirs. They don't. Let me give you a good example. Okay. Let's say you're picking it up. Okay, very good. Let's say a house was the product, right? And it's put in trust. The trustee, like Alfred, living in Wayne Manor. He was living in Wayne Manor. That wasn't his house per se. It was supposed to be inherited by Master Wayne. But guess who's living in the house, eating the same filet mignon, driving the Rolls Royce, wearing the finest tuxedos, top hats, all that kind of stuff. He's suited and booted. Why? Because that is the power, the right that the trustee has as the manager. Okay? So the manager enjoys as if it is his. And so if it was a house, Alfred's living in the house. The trustee has a right to live in the estate. And guess what? The trustee has the right to liquidate the estate. So if you got a house in trust and you're the trustee and you make the wise choice and decision, let's say the market spikes, right? The market spikes and the value of the home goes skyrocketing like we had recently. And it's a great time to sell. You bought the house at $100,000 and now it's worth $250,000. So you, as the controller, as the trustee, may say, I think it's a good time to liquidate. Master Wayne come up to you and say, no, this is my family's house. Sit down somewhere. I got the legal title here. I'm in control of this. I'm in control of you. If you don't like it, you can kick rocks. You can get written out of the trust indenture. How about that? Your dad told me that you're a knucklehead and a spendthrift. So if he don't listen, you have the permission, according to the trust indenture, to remove a part or penalize him in some kind of way. But later for that. But the point is that The trustee has the power to liquidate the asset. But here's where the benefactor comes in. Whatever proceeds are obtained from the sale of the property, whatever the interest or okay, so the house was bought at 100,000, right? It went up to 250,000 in value. So the trustee said, time to sell. We're making, you know what I'm saying? And so now the principal was 100,000, or that's what it was. That's what its value was initially. It went up an additional $150,000. That interest belongs to the beneficiary. See, they benefit from the property. They don't own the property. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's the difference between the legal title and those who have equitable beneficial title. Okay? The legal title gives me control to hold this as the manager, as the trustee. It does not I don't give this to the beneficiaries. No, they merely get the residual, the proceeds and the interest from this. They never get this, not as long as the trust is going. When the trust collapses, then everything goes over to the beneficiary. Okay, I hope you get that. Let's move on a little bit. I don't want to bore y'all and put y'all to sleep. I hope that was great information to get you to understand it. Let me get back to your questions here. So that's establishing the private commercial entity. A trust is a commercial person because you use it to do what? Commerce. Make sense? Did you know that there's a difference between a legal entity and a commercial entity? Did you know that? I can show you. I can show you. There's a difference between a legal person, a legal entity, and a commercial entity. We'll address that, and then we will move on to next question. All right, let me get the document camera going here. All right, so we are coming from one of my favorite books again. I got some tea spilled here. Don't mind that. Hopefully that comes in a little clear for you. And let me get something to point with. If you see right here, remember we went over the, maybe I can make it a little clearer for you. Let's see. Can I do it? Can he do it? That might be the best I can do. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Look, a debtor is a person. This is in accordance with the UCC. If you recall, we covered this. Okay. In accordance with the UCC, a debtor is a person. I apologize for there we go. How about that? A debtor is a person. A person, though, is defined in UCC section 1-201B27, formerly, whatever, to include, here's what a person includes, which is a person is a debtor, and a debtor is a person, and a person, in accordance with the UCC, is an individual, a corporation, or any other legal, or, meaning either or, not and, right? So there's a legal or a commercial entity. Now let's take a look and see what the difference is. All right, let's figure this out. How y'all doing out there? Everybody good? So glad you're here. Thank you. All right, let's go. Let's go to church. Let's go to church. Where's there we go. All right. Let's look up the legal definition. Oh, get out of the way. got 2 I's in there. The legal definition of quotation, commercial, and yeah, let's do entity. Oh. Here we go. What's a commercial entity? Here's Law Insider. Let's take a look at what they have to say. Let's make the comparison here. This is good information. Okay. So thankful to all gods for putting us on this trail. Let's see if I can zoom it in for you. What's a commercial entity? Means persons or entities engaged in the buying, selling, or production of goods and or services for profit. There's your commercial entity, okay? A type of person, a legal person, an artificial person. They're all artificial persons, but you have a commercial artificial person, which is used, again, to engage in the buying, selling. In other words, trade and commerce and trade, right? That's what you have the commercial. Now, look, how about legal? Legal entity. Excuse me. Look, we can do Merriam. Why not? An entity as a corporation or labor union having under the law rights and responsibilities. Can y'all read that? Oh, my bad. Let me share the screen. Hold on. My bad. Hold on. Hold up. Let's see if you can pinpoint the distinction. Okay. Let's see if you can So what does it say? An entity as a corporation or labor union having under the law rights and responsibilities. Okay. And especially the capacity to sue and be sued. Now, if you notice over here in talking about the commercial entity, hold on real quick. Notice over here it says means person or entities engaged in the buying, selling, or production of goods and or services for profit. It doesn't mention anything about being under the law, although we're not claiming that commercial entities have no authority over them, right? We're not saying that, okay? But the point is that this one specifically is yours to engage in buying, selling, or production of goods, okay? Specifically. The other one, the legal entity, it says this one, it's deriving rights under the law, right? And it's, deriving responsibilities, duties, obligations, okay? The only way that something has an obligation or a duty to something else, in this part here, the law or the government, is because it takes a privilege and a benefit from the government. All right? You picking up what I'm putting down? This one here, as all gods asked his question here, establishing the private commercial entity. This is private. This is private. This is your ship to do, again, to participate, to have to do, to buy, sell, or trade, or to produce goods in. Whereas a legal entity, legal suggests that without the permission of the state or the government, it would be unlawful for you to do. It is, for example, you cannot practice medicine, nor can you practice law unless you have a license. Well, it's not really a license to practice law, to be clear, but it is a registration as a bar member when you prove by passing the bar or whatever, or through getting a Juris Doctorate or whatever, that you are legally competent to give advice to other people. Okay, so the danger is if the states just allow everybody to hand out advice, legal advice, then eventually all of the liability is going to fall back on the state, because you're going to have a bunch of disenfranchised and people like in the what they call the sovereign citizen movement. You got people trying everything everywhere because you have people that are teaching theory. Right? It doesn't really work. It's just a theory and an ideology of someone. They just came up with it and it sounded sweet, or they took a piece from here and a piece from here, put it together and made a Frankenstein. That's what happened. And so that's why they want to make sure you go through school before you call yourself a practitioner of law. They want you to go to school. They don't want you just cutting on everybody like, these doctors, Kevorkian or whatever, performing procedures on people just because your friend said, yeah, dude, I'm hurting. And I can't pay $10,000 for this procedure. Bro, cut me open and take this tumor out. Can you imagine what would be? That's why regulation is necessary. Woo! Because people would do it. Your bros, right? Remember that goofy stuff we used to do? You have dude laying on mom's kitchen table, cut open, blood everywhere. You laughing because it's true. We used to do stupid stuff. Well, now we're adults, and now the state has regulation to protect the citizens from all you Kevorkians out there, Dr. Kevorkians doing procedures and stuff. I don't know what assisted suicide was he was doing. So anyways, you get my point, I think. That to answer your question, all gods, if you want the private, as you stated here, I'll pull it up one more time. You said establishing the private commercial entity. Whenever you hear the word or term legal, you must, or you should think government issued or government owned. Okay. That's okay. So, but commercial entity, you can create, like you say there, you can create a trust yourself. And in fact, you don't necessarily have to register it because it's by contract. Article 1, Section 10, you all know it. You have the right to contract. No state can impair the obligations of a contract. You have that private right to do as long as it does not break the law. You can contract with whoever you want. So that's why a trust, it essentially is private, and essentially you write the law of the trust. And as long as you get somebody that will act as your trustee, accept that designation or appointment, y'all got a contract. You rocking. Now, let me caution you. Hold on now. Let's not go. Let me caution you. You may not be able to get a U.S. bank or corporation or whatever to necessarily recognize it or honor it. They have that right to say, no, you must have a statutory trust that is recognized by law, that is registered, that, what I'm saying? They have that right to do that. If you're staying in a small town and Kathy works over at the bank and she's the teller and the banker and everything, she might let you slip through. All right. But those businesses are going to be very protective because their name is, it's a bank and trust. If they let you get in there and you pull in some scheme, and then the constituents and the members of their bank find out that, how did that even get through? Y'all don't have security measures. You got these sovereign citizens doing all this kind of stuff. making a gridlock in here and locking our money up and all this kind of stuff. Now you're investigated by the federal government. The FDIC don't want to insure your bank anymore because you don't let these sovereign citizens do this, blah, blah, blah. So they're not playing no games with that. You see what I'm saying? So the proper way, all right, the proper way, you don't have to have a foreign trust to the United States and blase, blase. You don't have to do that. We don't have to run. What did Morpheus tell Neo? When the time comes, meaning when the light goes on and you finally get it, you won't need to dodge the bullets anymore. You won't need to dodge the agents, the bullets. You won't need to do that anymore because now you can clearly see the DNA of the system and the makeup of the system. When you really learn how to do this, you're not going to run from it anymore. You're going to, man, bring it. Let's go. I know this game. Okay? That's the difference. That's what's going on. And so, no, you get you a statutory trust, a regular old domestic trust. Register that baby because you register your game piece. You ready to play. You ready to play. Don't be afraid of that. It's time to play. How are you going to play otherwise? Without the mark, you are not going to be able to buy, sell, or trade, right? Isn't the scripture say that? That's the game. So don't check yourself out of the game. I feel like I am so bright right now. I should turn off one of these lights or something. Maybe it's my aura. All right, let's move on. Thanks for that question. Let's move on. Where am I at? Victoria, your turn. What are we talking about? Let's go. When authenticating the birth certificate, what does that really do? Victoria. Nothing. I know they're telling you. We all went there. Everybody mad dash. We made plenty of money for the the State Department. We made a lot of, we gave up so much money. That little $8, $10 every time you got one. And some people were getting 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we made plenty of, they were like, holy cow. Suddenly everybody just wants to give us money. And in your state was the same way. I'll apostille up the wazoo, authentication. And nobody knows what's going on with that. Here. It's my job. You're right. It's my job. I said that is my job to dispel the myth. So I'm going to dispel the myth about that. And then y'all take it for what it is. Let me show you what is really happening. And what you thought was happening is not what's happening. Again, the answer is not being foreign to the United States. That is not the answer. I can assure you of that. Let me show you. How about that? How about that? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you something. If you want to authenticate your birth certificate, don't get me wrong. It's there. You can do it, but it's not doing what you're told it's doing, is what my point is. All right. Let me show you. Let me show you. All right. This is easy. Really, this is easy. Why? Okay. Why should I authentic? No, here. What is authentication? Here. What is authentication of birth certificate? Here we go. And we're going to go right to the USA Gov because they're desperately really trying to dispel all the stuff that's coming through. They know people are misinformed and they're desperately trying to set the record straight. But this information is not, it never was hidden. It's right here. Okay, so I just went to a US site. It was very simple, very easy. Watch. Apostilles and authentication certificates are both ways of what? Certifying that US documents are genuine and can be legally recognized in another country. Why do you authenticate the birth certificate? To certify that the US document is genuine and can be legally recognized in another country. Okay. An apostille or an authentication certificate verifies signatures, stamps, or seals on important documents. What's so mystical about that? I'm not talking to you. I'm just not directly to you, Victoria. I'm to the whole school of thought. Okay, this is very simple. I mean, how come nobody just looked at that and just said, okay, bro, why do I need to get it authenticated, bro? I live in the United States. Unless I'm going to a country that may question my legal documents, I mean, it has a freaking seal already on it. Call the embassy if you don't believe that this is a real document. Oh, or you could just get it authenticated if, you know, it's a problem. I don't have a problem. I'll get it authenticated and I'll holler at y'all when I come back. I mean, that's what it's for. It's to certify the signatures, the stamps, and the seals on the document. That's why they staple or rivet the two certifying documents on the various levels of government: county, state, and federal. The chances of that being a fraudulent document when it gets in the hands of that foreign embassy or agent, they're going to be like, oh, no, this is real. I mean, that's not really difficult. All right. These documents can include court orders. You can get the court order done too. What is that going to do for you? Prove you're foreign to the United States? No, it doesn't. You can get contracts done. You can get vital records done. You can get educational diplomas done. You know, if you're over in Italy going to school or something and you need to demonstrate to get extra to apply the credits you earned here in the United States, and you can show them your diplomas, they might question it. So get it authenticated so that when they get it, they can be like, oh, it's real. It's authenticated on all three levels of government. And more. Okay, the country you will use the document in determines whether you will need an apostille or an authentication. Again, they're going to let you know. They're going to let you know. If you're going to some strange, you know, third world country or whatever, and you're going to be dealing with its government and whatever, then they might be like, well, we don't have many Americans come through here. And if you want to start a business or operate in our government or whatever, we're going to need to validate that you have citizenship somewhere and that you have the skills that you claim that you have. So we don't have much experience with you, so we need you to get that authenticated. Go talk to your daddy, the state, and have them double up on that thing and sign off here and there and you know, everywhere, so that we will have ample evidence that you are the real McCoy. That's what you're doing. That's authentication. That's it. So apostille is different. Apostille, if the country where you want to use your document is on the 1961 Hague Convention member list, you will need an apostille. Why? Because they already recognize, they're part of the convention, the Hague. They all decided we will recognize if you send any of your people over to me, I will recognize when I see that apostille, I'll know that you sent them. They're not imposters. And they're valid. That's an apostille. But now, obviously, if you go to a country that is not part or has not signed to the Hague, they may question your documents because they're not part of the clique. They're not part of the gang. They're outside of it for whatever reason, right? There might be trade embargoes, tariffs, and all that kind of stuff on trade with a particular country for whatever reason, for whatever they did wrong or, you know, fraud or communistic or whatever, you know, whatever the reason is. So that's why you would need an apostille if they're part of the Hague. If they're not part of the Hague, look, when you need an authentication certificate, all of this is spelled out for everybody. How did we all get bamboozled into spending hundreds of dollars on authentication to allegedly join up with a perceived enemy or outcast of the United States to try to check out and be foreign. We got fooled into that. And we just spent a lot of money. That's all we did. And the people that are doing it, when they got wind of the whole sovereign citizen movement, now it's a joke. A joke's on you. We'll take your money, no problem. Keep on doing it. Keep. How many more you want? You ain't going nowhere. It ain't. So, anyways, if the country where you want to use your document is not on the 1961 Hague Convention member list, you will need an authentication certificate. And that's all it is. That's all it is. All right. So hopefully we cleared that up. I mean, dispelling the myths. That's what we're doing. Save your money. Unless, of course, you're going to a country that is not part of the Hague, because they may challenge your documents. But nowhere in there does it say this is how you can correct your status or prove that you are foreign to the United States. Nowhere. There is nothing legally protectable in law. So therefore, there will be no recognition of such. Okay. So hopefully we say, hopefully I saved a few bucks for you. All right. So moving on. Thank you for the question, Victoria. BB Production. Music? Is it still playing? Wait a minute. It can't be. I turned it off. Do y'all still hear music? There's no music playing. It can't be playing. I just looked at it. It's off. But whatever. Okay. Are we obligated to pay taxes if we work in the public? Yes. Yes. Here's the consideration. Anytime that you deal with U.S. currency or U.S. sourced or based income or currency, remember they're U.S. debt notes. Remember, those are serialized debt notes. They're serialized because they're the property of somebody else. You're just using them. And in fact, you traded in real money in exchange to use somebody else's fiat. Yeah, remember? We traded everything, our silver certificates, all that. We traded all that in. And what did they give us in response, in exchange? Fiat currency. Fake money. I shouldn't say fake. It's not fake. It's not fake money. It is backed by something. It is. It's not just nothing. It's not. It is. It's literally. I mean, you can go spend it, right? You can go get a candy bar. You can go get whatever you want. You can literally do stuff with it. So it has backing. So I wouldn't say that it doesn't have any backing. It has value, because value is defined as the amount somebody is willing to spend for it. So you spent your silver, your silver certificates, and gave up your gold to the government in exchange, and they gave you pennies under the dollar or whatever they said. I'm not even gonna try and quote it. But you did get something in exchange. That's what we did. Ignorantly. That's what we did. But let me just tell you like this. How do you like being the world power? It was a good run, right? I'm not saying I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but it was a good run. We've been pretty safe. Like I said, we don't hear bombs going off here. We ain't got terrorists per se, like that are just, that you got to look out for every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you scared to even go out on the street sometime. Like, I mean, you got the hood, you got the, you know what I'm saying though, right? We don't have that type of terrorism going on, every day. A building getting blown up next, downtown somewhere every day. You know what I mean? That's going on in certain places, but we never. So how do you like being the world power? That's what it took. That's what it took to become the world power. The elite, or the politicians, the hidden hand, whatever you want to call them, they put together that plan to get the world to surrender real money, and we cunningly and craftily distributed out fake money, tricked the whole freaking world. That's what it took to become the world power. It worked. It worked. I know what you're saying, but did it work? Guess where you grew up at? American exceptionalism. You grew up at the top of the freaking world. How you feeling? Yeah, you cheat, steal, however. We've been at the top. It was a long run too, wasn't it? 250 something years. We had the whole freaking world full. Can you imagine? I'm talking about countries that have been around for thousands of years. We literally tricked them out of their stuff and got them hooked on our stuff, like America the pimp. I know. I'm just keeping it real with you. That's exactly what they did. They pimped the world out of all of their real stuff and got them hooked on some fictional stuff, or not fictional, fiat. Crazy to think about, ain't it? But that's what happened. The world's figuring it out now, though. You see what I'm saying? They're figuring it out. But anyways, let's see. Next question. I hope I answered that. Okay. So are we? So yes, you are obligated to pay taxes because we're captured in the legal order, and we're using somebody else's stuff under this. What do they call that? Pledge of Allegiance. That's what it is. So yes, that's why you pay taxes. There's always a tax when you're using somebody else's stuff. When you take somebody else's money, you have to pay interest on top of the principal, right? Because you're using somebody else's stuff. So yes, that's why you pay taxes. Fred Mitchell gave a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Victoria says Alfred. Okay, Alfred. All right. Something's happening here. It's like looping because I could have swore I went through these already. Okay, Matthew said we will be set. That's right. Right. Your children will be set. The next generation. Victoria said because she was a part of it. Okay. Yep, I remember. All right, I'm looking for questions. But they don't own the cup. I'm looking for questions. Get them in now because we ain't going to be on here too long. It's Wednesday. All right. If you have a bank account and all gods, if you have a bank account and an EIN, is it a legal trust? Remember, a trust is created at the bifurcation of the legal and the equitable title. That's simple. I can literally create a trust with you right now. Literally. I just need you to electronically sign that you accept it, and the trust is made. Now, in order to keep the trust extant or relevant, and it not just be like a shell company, right? It's got to be administering. You can't just create a trust and the trustee does not have obligations and duties that to carry out. You cannot just do that. It won't work. The judge is going to bust your trust. They're going to be like, this is not a real trust. There's no activity. You don't even get, where are the assets at? Is this trust even funded? Meaning, have you even transferred ownership of these assets into the trust? You haven't even funded it. Yeah, it has to be active. You can't just create it, pick a name, get an EIN number, and just lay back. No, it's commercial entity. Remember, it's for buying, selling, trading. You're doing business. That trustee should be growing that trust, should be growing interest, should be investing. Like what do you think a 401k is? What do you think the brokers are doing with your money? They're trustees. The 401k is a trust. So what are they doing? You're looking every quarter or whatever. You're checking your numbers, or they're sending you a report, your social security account, and all that. Remember, they send you that. I don't know, every year or whatever. So often they send you a breakdown of all that you've amassed at your job, all your social security. This is what you could be looking at when you retire, when you reach FRN, full retirement age, FRA. There's a report. The trustees are giving you a report on what you can expect, how much it will be there when you retire, if you retire. That's a trust. They're the trustees. They're literally giving you a report. So what you see these public servants out there doing is, if you're going to have a trust, you have to be doing it too. You're literally supposed to be having quarterly meetings with the constituents of the trust, or the parts of the trust. You're supposed to be documenting things. You're supposed to be keeping your receipts. You're supposed to be filing the taxes. You're supposed to be making claims, doing all kinds of administration and business. You can't just sit on a trust. It's not a trust if you just sit on it, and it won't fly in the court. If it ever comes under fire, they'll bust your trust. So the question was, again, if you have a bank account and an EIN, is it a legal trust? It's a legal trust if you operate it in accordance with how trusts are operated. You can't call something a trust, and then when it's under scrutiny, it's not performing like a trust. Second part of your question, I was told by a credit union that unless it's typed up, it's not valid. Remember and recall, I said, if it's not registered or whatever with the state, these private banks they may not honor it. They have the right, because they got to be careful. Remember, their bank is a trust itself. If any of the constituents or members of the bank get wind that they're letting questionable activities come into their bank, then that trust is broken. And people will start running on the bank, take their stuff out of there. Oh, no, you under FDIC investigation because you're doing shiesty stuff with side people that, stuff that ain't even in law. You get what I'm saying? All right, let's move forward. All gods, can child support or other quote unquote obligations forced upon us with suretyship? Can child support or other quote unquote obligations forced upon us with suretyship? I think there's a word probably missing out of there. Can child support or other obligations be forced upon us with suretyship? Here's the thing with child support. I don't know if I was going to disclose this. How shall I put it? Because this is going to be covered in Patreon. How shall I put this delicately? I'll just say this. How should I put this without getting in trouble? Listen, hear me. Before you had a child, what were you called? What was your title? Did you have a title? After you had the child and the state got involved, then what were you called? If you were a man, you're called a what? If you're a woman, you're called what? That's all I can tell you. So if you can pick up what I'm putting down, but that I got to save that because that's for my Patreon subscribers. I can't give that one away because that there's a remedy for child support in that. If you want a private consultation, you know how to hit me up. KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. Then I can probably talk to you, but I'm not putting that one out in the public. Not yet. All right. So I gave you a little hint there. I gave you a hint. So the answer to your question, by the way, is yes, because you're not who you used to be. All right. That's all I can do. I'm done. All right. So moving on. Victoria said, LOL, so I did that for nothing. I wouldn't say you did it for nothing. I mean, I wouldn't say you did it for nothing. I'll just say that it wasn't to accomplish what you thought it was to accomplish. And remember, the goal is not to be foreign to the United States. The goal is to know how to play the game and to win at the game. Okay? Heather Bell says, I did it for nothing too, Victorious. Victor. I mean, a lot of disinformation. A lot of us are disenfranchised because of the disinformation. We're ready to give up, right? Because where is remedy? Who got remedy? What is remedy anyways? And why am I even looking for remedy? What was I doing before I even got involved in this sovereign citizen ideology? What were we doing? We were playing basketball, we were playing football, volleyball, we were hanging out at the beach. We were being normal. Now we're with the new normal. Now we're woke. So, but we're going to come back. No. It was all for a purpose. Believe me, it was all for a purpose. Because some of us would have never picked up any books like this and started to research. This has actually forced you into becoming legally competent. How many of you were doing this prior to 2015, et cetera, et cetera? You know what I'm saying? Some of us, most of us all started waking up around the same time. Eureka. But we weren't thinking about this type of stuff. We were thinking about having hot girl and hot boy summers. We were riding around, twerking on Jeeps and stuff. That's all we did was party. That's all we did. But guess what? A change happened. And now we looking like this. You know what I mean? I know you got your library too. Don't you? You got good books too. Y'all been at the Goodwill picking up them 89-cent specials. Yeah. So it worked. It's good. It got us on we're doing way better than our parents were. Huh? Because we're woke now. So I wouldn't say you did it for nothing. No, it was a stepping stone to get us to where you are right now. And you're more alive now. Life has way greater meaning now than I bet it did before. Before you were, man, why are we even here? Is there a God? Why are we even, what is my purpose? Now every day y'all doing what you got to do. You know your purpose. So I wouldn't say it was a waste of time. None of this. I wouldn't say it's a waste of time. I would say it's part of the journey. Okay. And it gets greater later. Heather Bell says, oh, wow. Victoria says, thank you. Can you clarify, Kay Matthews question. Can you clarify being born in Washington, D.C. can be a state citizen or private citizen? Can be a state citizen or private citizen. Oh, excuse me. So you were born in Washington, D.C.? Okay, so the District of Columbia is just that. It's the District of Columbia. It's not one of the states they're fighting to become. But essentially, what you have is, well, let's go to the whiteboard, shall we? Let's do a word picture or something. I need to stand up. I've been sitting all day in the studio, in the study hall. All right, let's do a word picture here. We got Michael Jackson going on here. So the District of Columbia, or DC, right? And we all know 10 miles square, right? We can rehearse that, right? They got the capital and all, whatever. Capital, I think it's square. So anyways, the point is that the United States of America, the corporation, right, which is all 50, all nifty 50, all 50 states in the union, right? Well, who's going to regulate all of them? We're just going to let them go crazy, just doing their thing. Wisconsin hates Illinois. Illinois hates Texas. Texas hates Florida. Florida hates Georgia. Georgia hates, you know what I'm saying? We're just going to let them, they're going to fight it out. civil wars all the time? No, they said we can't do that. We will never be able to keep commerce going if Illinois will not recognize the currency of Wisconsin. And if Wisconsin will not recognize and accept, give full faith and credit, right, to the currency, the laws, or the citizens of another state. So what they said was, we have to take all of the power or powers, or most of the powers, especially commerce, right? So the government's over here. This is DC government, government. That's what this is. The 10 mile square is the seat of government. This is not a corporation. 10 miles square. Nope, kind of sloppy. I'm tired. This is 10 mile square. This is the district. It's a district. Now listen. If left alone without a government or seat of government, these cats gonna fight like cats and dogs, man. They were doing it. So they had, for the sake of commerce, the leaders of the colonies and the states, whatever, came together and said, let's meet, let's discuss this. Because we can't get any shipments coming from overseas or whatever, because anytime that, New York has an issue with anybody inland, New York's going to cut the harbor off and no shipments can go inward or into the interior. That's redundant, but you know what I'm saying? To the interior of the states. So we got to figure out a way to take certain powers out of all 50 states and pledge all the powers. Listen. All right. So each of those 50 states had the right to their own commercial authority and power in their state. It's called, intrastate commerce. Okay. What they did is they said, in order to keep the peace and to keep unity and to keep commerce and trade flowing, because it can never stop, what we all have to agree. Wisconsin, will you agree to give up the power of commerce that you had? Will you give that up? In Tennessee, will you also? In Georgia, will you likewise? The conversation. And so they all said, we will. All of them agreed. And so guess what? Commercial power was pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. All commerce went, and they retained everything else. They kept all their other power. They remained sovereign nation states. And everybody was happy because now commerce will never be stopped again. And we will remain the world power. And that's what happened. So this is the seat. The 10 mile square is the seat of government. It's where the government sits in regulation of the goings on in commerce, intrastate and interstate, between the 50 nation states, aka the corporation. That's what's going on. This seat of government is known as the U.S. government. It's not a corporation. This is the seat. Why is it known as the seat of government? Because what are the seats of government? What are the titles? Here, president. Isn't the president's seat in DC? Huh? How about the VP, vice president? Is he or she in DC? The seat What about treasury or the treasurer? These are all what? Executive titles. So again, this is not the corporation. This is the corporation. This is the seat of government over the corporation. That's why it's called the U.S. government. So your question, again, was, I hope you're getting this. I've done this before, but it's okay. We can do review. Where was the question again? I got to find it. Hold on. Oh, okay. Can you clarify being born in Washington, D.C.? And I'm not sure about that second part. Can be a state citizen or private citizen? Can you be a state citizen if you're born in D.C.? Well, you're born in the district. You know what? I'm going to look into that. I'm going to look into that. I won't even act like I have a 100% answer for you. Let me look into that, K. Matthews. I'm gonna look into that. We're gonna do a little study on that. What are people who are born in Washington, D.C., what is really their status and standing, since D.C. is not actually one of the 50 states, right? So they are in the seat of government, or they're, well, remember, D.C., the District of Columbia, is only 10 miles square. Okay? The seat of government, right? But there are people that live around it, right? Let me do some research into that. That's a great question, K. Matthews. That's a great question. Let me look into that, okay? Somebody remind me. I will look into that for you. I will do the research. Inspector Crusoe is on the job. KJ says Monopoly. Dollar script. Yep. Hi, KJ. All right. Pimping. Greetings, KJ. All right. Oh, guys, can child support or other obligations? See, it's coming up again. We already covered this. It's like looping for some reason. Oh, okay. So Fred Mitchell said child support is voluntary. It is. It's just people don't understand or see how. So you got to make the distinction between the legal order and your natural rights. More times than not, people are trying to argue their natural rights, which that doesn't apply in that zone, is what I'm saying. Hold on, because I just feel like I'm being washed out here. I'm gonna turn off one of these lights. I'm gonna have to work on that. Let's see if that's better. Still kind of washed out. What do you guys think? I don't know. I feel like it doesn't look like the sun is hitting me right here. Like, I don't know, whatever. I'll work on it later. But you're right, Fred Mitchell. All right. So can child support or other obligations be removed from us with using suretyship? Can child support? I can't. Okay, like I said, I can't really go into too much depth into that on this live. Feel free to contact me for a consultation. You know, I'll talk to you one-on-one on that. Other than that, join us over at the Patreon, okay? Because I'm going to be covering that, okay? All guys, I'll wait and get it on Patreon. Okay, awesome. That is why I enjoy the exclusivity of it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Victoria says, facts. It was called a distraction. What was that, K. Matthews? What are you referring to? What was the distraction? Victoria, I sure do. LOL. Okay. Yep. Goodwill has some excellent benefit. Don't they? That's why, man, maybe we shouldn't tell everybody, Fred Mitchell. Maybe we shouldn't tell everybody. People are throwing away some good stuff. Go to the Goodwill. You find some treasures. Also go to Half Price Books. Go online. I go on the online Half Price Books. I slowed down now because I kind of inherited a whole lot of books, which I'm very thankful for. Look at those estate sales. Man, I'm telling y'all all my secrets. Now look at the estate sales though, because when people pass on, this new generation don't realize the richness, the magic that is they're in these books. They don't get it. Take advantage of that. Somebody passed away, especially elderly people that were born in like the 30s, 40s, and whatever. Well, maybe not 30, but older people. Man, go in their basement if you can get in there and look around. Just saying. All God said. Okay, what are we at? An hour and 31 minutes, y'all. We got to go to sleep. Hey, have you read David E. Robinson's Meet Your Strawman and Whatever You Want to Know? And Whatever You Want to Know. I have not myself read it. I've heard it read auditorially. How do you say it? Audible, whatever. But no, I have not read it. I feel very confident in my knowledge on what's really going on, though. And I think that the Wizard of Oz just did an awesome job. You just have to know what you're looking at. But thanks for that. Maybe one day I will. I just don't even, maybe, I don't know. Maybe that'd be a good thing to do on an off night or something like that, is to start reading it, and maybe, we can get through it like that together. Another good read is United States Congress, United States Code, Title 15, Commerce and Trade. Okay, Volume 5. Okay, very good. All right, anybody can check that out. Feel free to read the stuff and share it. You know what we teach over here. So if you find something that we must absolutely know and it contributes to the community here, man, bring it. Bring it. I don't always have to be the one talking here, by the way. Y'all can join me and come on here and share stuff. I don't have a problem with that. Love the great topics and comments with the like-minded today. Yep, absolutely. 777. Greetings, brother. I know I'm late. King Toby's in the house. You always sneaking in the back room. Welcome, King Toby. Good to see or hear from you. K Method said, thanks. I'll remind you, LOL. Okay, thank you. I don't mind co-hosting. I would need to set that up again. I am not in the same house. I was still getting things together. Okay. Yeah, again, I really would like, competent individuals, who are a bit savvy and research and study and have good mouthpiece and can carry on an intellectual conversation. It'd be great to have a co-host or a couple, so that we can add more volume to the offering here. That'd be great. So think amongst yourselves, we can make that happen. Or we can do a spin-off show, on various nights. And just have we could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. This is our community. Let's make it happen. Appreciate that though, King Toby. All right. Let's see, King Toby amongst. All right, very good. I'm trying to get through these comments here. I think I'm at the end. Seems fine to me. Maybe a filter on the camera. I don't know. I think it's the light. See, I gotta work on the lighting. It's just bright. It's just bright. Getting a suntan. 777. Thank you for doing what you do. Great educator. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, know thyself says 777 as well. And we are at the end of the comment section. I love you all. I thank you for your time, for your tolerance, for your patience as we grow, as we learn more and more. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. And we are doing things. I can't necessarily disclose everything in the public, right? That's why we have our Patreon. So make sure you join us over there. if you are interested. It's, like I said, about $3 a week, $15 a month. It's not really, it shouldn't really break anybody. You are more than welcome to come over there. I'll put the banner up for you one more time. I was going to cover a video, but I think an hour and 35 minutes, just taking some questions. I think that's good enough for tonight. We will be right back here again on Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will have a topic for us, and we'll hit the ground running. So make sure you bring friends with you, bring somebody else with you, and let somebody else know that we are live. All right, I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. There's the KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com. If you need a private consultation to talk about something that, you know, we're not able to talk about in the public, or again, just meet us over at the Patreon. Here's the link. All right. And as usual, this is not intended as to be legal advice. All right. All right. Very good. Oh, I see another comment up there. Let's see if anybody's talking. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, Victoria says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate all of you. It really made me feel good tonight. We had a great turnout. Let's hope we get even more on Sunday. That'd be great. Appreciate you all. Okay. And now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? We'll see you soon on the next go around Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Peace. Love you.